Time
Oh
to
my
be
God.
nice.
Can y'all hear me okay? I don't want to hear about later on. I don't sound right and all that blah, blah, blah.
Well, we never know until you start talking, and then
Mm.
it's only whenever it's your turn then it does it.
All
We're
right.
live.
All
Hi,
right.
everyone. Would like to introduce Roger with his pre-written script on who is this show all about. Roger, would you just get started?
Okay, so today it's not a pre-written script because we have something special for our guests, something outside the box. And so who's this show for? This show is for investors. Maybe they've already bought several properties. This show is for people that are maybe buying their personal residence. And this show is for professionals, other tradespeople, because at the end of the day, we're in this experience together. And with that, let's get the show started.
And the show is for us, so we get to learn and grow
By
together.
the way, we're learning with y'all too. Trust me. You know,
Yeah.
this is the only career in my lifetime that has stoked my novelty to the TY.
What?
What? I have no idea what you just.
Novelty,
Please, please.
novelty, why?
Was this a dad joke?
Yeah, is it a dad joke?
I don't know what that means, but it's a bad joke. Okay, I stick to real estate.
So your novelty is being stoked right now too, huh?
Yeah, because I have no idea what you have on your sleeve. You send me this PDF literally 10 minutes before the call.
Yeah,
Go.
go, run. Okay, cool. So, guys, we have a special show, and we introduced this book to you guys last week. It's called "The Algebra of Wealth: a simple, a simple formula for financial security." So, what do you guys think about when you hear the words wealth and formula and financial security? What comes to your mind?
Math, CPA, taxes,
Ah, those are
overwhelm,
Advisor.
huh?
overwhelm,
Yeah.
Overwhelm. Mm.
D grade in school for math class, failing the math class.
Oh
I
my
don't
God.
think that happened to Rosie.
No, I don't think so. I can't. You can't even joke about it. So I want to share the very first quote in this book that I wanted to present here today, and I want to see what you guys think about it. So the quote goes as such: Real estate is the emperor of all asset classes. Although the price of individual parcels can go up and down over the long term, it's bulletproof.
Ooh. I
That's what
love
he
this
says about real
quote.
estate.
Who said this?
So this is by Scott Galloway, the author of this book.
Oh, he said this.
Yeah, he says this.
Hey, I think he hit the nail on the head.
Yeah. So again, the values of parcels can go up and down, but in the long term, real estate's bulletproof. And he discusses all different, asset classes. He doesn't single any one of them out. He speaks about them. What I like about this book is he speaks about things in a simplistic manner. So although you could write a book about each one of the asset classes, I think the way that he describes them is very eloquent. That's what I really enjoyed. And last week we talked about the burn rate. And for anyone who's just maybe tuning in this week and you haven't heard about what the burn rate is, let me just share with you. So what he says is, let's acquire sufficient assets, not necessarily income, but assets that produce passive income for us that exceeds the level of spending that we have, which is technically called our burn rate. And I was really thinking, I said, you know what? Everybody in our sphere should share their burn rate with us. And I thought, man, that's going to be such a personal question. Nobody wants to share such sensitive information, right? Because half of half of us don't even know what our burn rate is. How much money are we actually spending? And so that leads us into the next thing he talks about. He says, in America, treating money as a taboo has got to be one of the worst societal norms that we've adopted. So I know I would love to hear your input on what you guys think about money being a taboo and why is it so difficult for us to share? this information?
Can I go? Okay. I don't know why. I think it's probably taboo because that is how we were raised. You were raised not to talk about money. But you know what? I will tell you one thing, guys. I am the most curious person there is when it comes to finances. I
Mhm.
want to know, what do you make? What do you spend your money on? How much do you spend on groceries? What do you spend on travel? I and I probably get myself in trouble for asking these questions to people sometimes, but I'm very curious to know, like, okay, you make X amount of money a year. What do you
Oh my gosh. Everybody wants to call me because my phone number here.
hey, maybe they want to know how to get on the live.
Yeah. So let me see if I could just text them. Please continue, Bree.
Oh, I'm
Sorry.
done. But yeah, I think it's we've been taught not to talk about it, but honestly, I feel that if we were able to have more open and honest conversations, then I think that we could help one another because unless you know how someone is acquiring wealth or how they are spending their money in a way that is working for them, you wouldn't know other. I mean, the same thing happens with like someone loses a bunch of weight. You sometimes ask them, "Oh, what did you do? What kind of foods did you eat? What kind of exercises did you do?" This is the same thing.
Yeah. Who would you be comfortable with sharing? Rosie,
Alyssa's
your
on
mic.
mute. You're on mute.
I have a different self opinion on that. Here's the
Oh,
thing.
nice. Okay.
So, losing weight is definitely an exemplifying act, right? You exemplify it, and people are inspired and they do it. But finances, what's a lot for someone and what's not a lot for someone is different. You know, good body, I understand body fat and all that stuff can vary, muscle mass can vary, and all that stuff. But what is a risk for someone and what is a risk for someone is different, because the risk tolerance for everyone is very different, because not only it comes from how they grew up, how safe were they growing up, what they find risky to do, and what was somebody's security net growing up, right? The one who comes from nothing, to them, that's they're like, hey, I came from here. And if I can make it here, and if I go back here, I can make it again. But the one who was here all the time, for them to even imagine the idea that they can be here, they don't know how to go back here because their threshold point was this. So, just to kind of loop it around, I think sometimes people don't share because they don't know.
Oh,
What you
well,
don't
yeah.
track, you don't measure, you don't manage. So sometimes people, like I remember Brie one time asked me, she said, Rosie, how much do you spend on groceries?
Yeah.
She said, because one of my friends said they only spend this much. Like, how do you survive? And whatever number her friend was, my number was three times that. So clearly we ate. So, but are you eating with leverage, right? Like, what are you spending money on? For some people, they spend leisure in experiences. I know for Roger, you and I, one of our real estate mentors says this all the time. They said, hey, the question is, how do you Vegas? Some
Oh,
people Vegas. Are you the kind of person who's gonna drop $100 and then lose it and make 500 and make another 100 and walk away with nothing? Or are you someone who say, you know what, I got $1 and I'll just try to stick it in the machine. If it comes out great, if not, I'm done. So the
how do
question
you
is,
pay this?
how do you Vegas, right?
Yeah.
How do you leisure around? So
Yeah.
but one thing is consistent. The one thing that is consistent is that everybody is going to get older, and
Wait,
everybody is going to
you're
need.
throwing me. You're throwing me for a loop here. I don't know. I'm not tracking. So
I love it.
we were saying, why do people feel that, why is it a taboo to share your financial information with somebody? And then my
Because
second part of that question would be, is it a taboo in general, or do you think that there's certain professionals that you wouldn't mind opening up with?
I think the reason it's a taboo is because people don't track, they don't measure, they don't manage.
They
So
don't
what
know.
And
does
if I,
getting
if
what does getting older have anything to do with
I
that,
will
Barb?
tell you, thank you for asking, because Roger and I have a hard time connecting on our loop around where we headed with it. So let me help you catch up. So what I'm trying to say is this: number one, it's a taboo because people don't track, people don't measure, so they don't know. And if you ask someone a question that they don't know, do they feel intelligent or stupid?
They feel stupid.
Okay, so do you think people want to wake up and feel stupid?
No.
No.
I don't, right? So now hence it became a taboo because of the discomfort it causes.
Mm,
So speaking about being stupid, you know, the author says don't be stupid because when you're stupid, you're destructive to yourself and society.
Hence my point of getting older. Everybody gets older, and everybody is going to need a better backup plan than 401k.
Uh,
Okay. And the
mm,
real estate is the only asset that has beat stock market in decades. If you look at the annual rate of returns over a century, real estate exceeded stock market. People were more reliable in assets in real estate than any other asset class. You and I talk about it all the time. Now, it's a slow, pay, passive, easy game. Anybody can play it, but you don't look at you don't plant a seed and dig it every day and say, oh, where's the roots at? Where's the tree at? You just water it, nurture it, water it, nurture it, water it, its branches, tree, and fruits. Hence, I
you know,
made.
it's funny. It's funny how much of what you guys are talking about is actually what the book is written about, right? Like part one is stoicism, and he talks about courage. And courage is basically grit or persistence, letting go of our fears, fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of embarrassment. And I think that's that fear of embarrassment. What am I spending my money
Yeah.
on? Right?
And quite frankly, I'm going to be transparent here, right?
Mm,
I told my father-in-law one time, I said, hey, I spend tens of thousands of dollars on education and training.
mm.
And he looked at me and he's like he didn't had a comeback to the point where he told me that that's stupid thing to do. But for someone who doesn't do that, they might look at it as a waste of money,
Yeah.
right? Now, do I want to have an opinion from someone who's not on the same journey as me? No, I don't. So, who do you share this information with? You share this information with people who aspire to be greater, who have common interest. That's why we have the community. That's why we make it a common conversation of investments in our company, because we don't want people to just buy a home out of like emotion. We want them to buy a real estate as investment. Yeah.
mhm.
Mm.
Hmm.
So, so I'm
Hmm.
going to share this screen real quick, and maybe our viewers would appreciate it because they can kind of follow along, and we can. Okay, so before we get to this screen here, let me see if there's um, part one stoicism. Does anything jump off the page for you, Rosie or Bree?
Mm,
I think for me it was make rich friends. Like, how do you intentionally? Does that mean that if someone's not rich, you're not friends with them? And how do you intentionally make rich friends? I think what they mean by this is, and kind of like what we're doing, right? We have the coffee social, and so the coffee social is a place where like-minded people can get together, people that want to invest in real estate, and gives everybody a chance to raise to the thermostat and be around success-minded people. Like that's
What's
an intentional way to do it, you know?
I really appreciate how you put it, by the way. Make rich friends. Like, do you not make friends? Like, what is rich? To
Yeah.
be honest with you, sometimes people, when I ask people what's rich, some people are rich in experiences over money and they're equally happy and wealthy, right?
Mhm.
I love acknowledge emotional responses. Genuinely think the one reason people are not able to transform their wealth, their mindset, their lifestyle is because there is an emotional response. And so most of the times that response comes in form of fear. And the answer is like, well, I don't want to take my risk. The very fact that you get in your car and you drive from one point A to point B is the biggest risk you take. There are more chances of someone to get hit by a car than lose money buying real estate.
Mhm.
We can prove this by case study.
Yeah.
All right, your turn.
Was that Bree? You were laughing at that?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mine, what I liked on this little grid was match your actions to your intentions. I think you know, our intentions sometimes can be to do something or to take action, but we don't actually do it, you know? Like you intend to buy the property or to invest, but like you haven't taken the first step to maybe open up the sheet or have a conversation or whatever the case may be. And this could even be something as simple as, you're not intending to be rude, but like you're talking rude, like, but I like that one, match your actions to your intentions. If you intend to do something, then do it and do it how you intended to do it.
Yeah, and train your habits kind of. I think they play in correlation with one another. But I wanted to read something to you guys and tell me what you think about this. It says everything meaningful in life is about others, your ability to support and love others, and your willingness to let them love you. Nothing profound is achieved in isolation. When my mom was diagnosed with cancer for the third time, we knew this was it. The last week of her life, she would become uncontrollably cold, shivering. No matter how much we turned up the thermostat or how many blankets we put on her, she still shivered. Finally, out of instinct, I held my mom in my arms as a father would hold a child who'd fallen asleep before the end of dinner. Her shivers subsided, riddled with cancer and barely 80 pounds soaking wet. This woman could only find warmth in her son's arms. For the first time, the success and relevance I had been chasing for so long had meaning. I was a man people could depend on. This past weekend, I gave the weekend to my son, whatever you want to do. This meant a Chelsea football game and two separate sojourns to the Batrisa Power Station Mall and the Coal Drop Mall. Malls go figure. Shopping for Nike football cleats, waiting in line for gelato in the chimney lift that takes you to the top of Batrisa Station. Spoiler alert, all kids must go to the top of any structure that has a top where you can look out on what surrounds you. My ability to care for my mom and spoil my son, who bears her name as his middle name, is a function of humanity and paternal instincts. And the ability to let these instincts find greater purchase is afforded by my economic security. I could take a leave from work and coordinate the substantial resources required so my mom could die at home and not under bright lights surrounded by strangers. The ability to be the child or parent you envision is possible without money, but it's more likely you can be present and not distracted by the immense stress with which a capitalist society burdens you if you have some economic security. Find something you're good at that people will pay you for it and go hard, really hard at it. Spend less than you make so you can deploy a platoon, then a division, then an army of capital that fights for you and your loved ones while you sleep. Diversify so you can endure the unknown that surrounds us and have a long term perspective. Embrace the wisdom to recognize time will go faster than you think. All of this can get you to the profound more quickly and let you be in the company in the moment of the profound, others. This is the whole shooting match. Life is so rich.
Wow.
That's intense.
Very.
So the guy talks about, working 36-hour straight and this and that. And he was saying, look, this is not hustle porn. And I don't want to like tell everybody that they have to make these huge sacrifices, but they interviewed in a recent survey, they interviewed 233 millionaires and 86% of them work over 50 hours a week, surprisingly. So
So I do appreciate this reminder on why we do all of this is to be to make a difference, to become someone that people can depend on, and there is a power to it. There is impact to it, because we all had someone that we leaned on, and it's now our turn to become that person to that can be dependable. But one thing that I have understood is that there's a difference between slaving away for 50 hours, and there is difference between enjoyably dedicating your time to something for 50 hours a week, right? So like you woke up at 2 o'clock this morning, and this is the second day you woke up, and I didn't see you kick and scream. You had a vision in mind. You were looking to add value to the company, and you wanted to bring a conversation that's going to lift our mindset up and for our people.
Mhm.
Was that work for you?
No, not at all.
And quite frankly, today I was up at 3 o'clock this morning because I'm helping a friend, a homeowner, who's going through a really hard time and has some struggles with the bank. And if my skill is going to put an end to that misery, I will wake up at 3 o'clock and I will dedicate the first 3 hours of the day to create a strategy and scenario to make sure they're able to get out of it and start a new beginning. So to me that was not work. I didn't feel like I was missing out on my time with my son, or I was missing out my I feel like it's an illusion. It is a idea that is fed to us, but what people miss out is on your greatness, on how you show up and are you dependable enough. Everything else, I honestly I can come up with 10 different things that I want to do with my son just to create time with him. But I'd much rather exchange a high quality time with him where me and him have a relationship that is unbreakable. So I feel
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I appreciate you sharing that, Rosie, because it's definitely not about, taking on this burden, as he's saying. It's really nice.
yeah,
I mean, it's nice to hear what his hustle has done for him, and for all of those who are not in that position right now, we have two options. One, we can say, well, I'll never get there, so this is not even a worthy pursuit. Or the second, what we can say is, well, you know, it's not over. It's not over. And that, if that's possible for him, then this might be possible for me. Because I was just listening to Rune share about Steve Harvey, and he said Steve Harvey was down to his last $300 before
hmm,
he became successful. And how many of those stories have we heard, like, especially here in the land of opportunity, the land
yeah.
of milk and honey, you know, the great American country that we live in, anything's possible.
Yeah, I think what we call risk and what we call safety is very objective in everybody's mind. It's very different. And a lot of people are working towards security and safety, and a lot of people are working toward getting out of it. And I think ultimately it's all about how you Vegas to have fun, Are you someone who wants
I think
family
that
time?
encompasses, yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah. You know what? Somebody said something very powerful to me. It was one of my coaching trainings that I took. They said, are you fulfilling a guilt or are you fulfilling a prophecy? So many people out there do things out of guilt. And so many people think that somehow doing things out of guilt is going to fill a bottomless hole. It's a bottomless hole. Guilt is, that's what we were talking, is an emotional response. If I didn't have it, I want to make sure somebody else have it. But how do we possibly know what you didn't had by you giving it to someone? It's actually fulfilling their growth.
Yeah.
But where I'm going with all of this is that we talk about real estate, we talk about fear, we talk about troubles, we talk about people buying and investing. I see the idea of home ownership slipping away from people's hands every single day. Like doing this for 15 years, buying real estate has not become cheaper. It has
Mhm.
only become more expensive.
Mhm.
right? Now, what is the reason? I still wonder. Like today, I'm very happy. First of all, Bree has actually put a tenant into a home. Like they were Bree, there was one point where we were going through a loan approval process where lenders said, well, that loan payment would actually create trouble with their remaining finances of the house if they came up with that kind of mortgage payment.
Yeah.
What changed all of a sudden, Bree? Like we're still buying a house, we're still getting a mortgage. What changed that condition?
We were able to look at a lower price property, but also able to look at buying down the rate. And ultimately, they wanted to be in a home because they didn't want to continue to throw away rent. And they knew that if there was a time to get into a home at that price point, they weren't going to be able to find it any other time but now.
That's what I'm talking about. Like they did not do things out of guilt that, oh my gosh, I can never do that because that's going to take away from my kids or that. But much rather, they worked on fixing the problem. How could they still make it happen? Right? This is the world of infinite possibilities. So what we pick from is infinite. Like even today before the call, we had an investment consultation with one of our people. And guys, I'll tell you one more thing, right? To do work on necessity is very easy.
Mhm.
Like everybody needs detergent in their house. So I can sell detergent because everybody needs to wash their dishes. But what we are doing is not out of necessity. Necessity is the easy thing to sell because it sells safety and security. Everybody needs a home. But we are encouraging every homeowner to lift up their head and decide for themselves now that is it a right time to bank on an asset that's stronger than 401k? Where else is your money stuck that's not yielding you returns? How many of our investors right now had their money in stock market and they're not able to pull it out?
So many.
They were all on an express train of owning real estate, but somewhere in the middle, stock market became more attractive and bunny trail happened. And now there is great opportunity, but their assets are frozen in stock market.
Yeah.
So I don't understand stock market, so I don't invest in stock market.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure, Brittany, Brie, actually, you had some really good properties to share today. I'm excited to see that.
I did. Before we go forward, I have one thing to say about that quote Roger read. Well, two
Yeah.
things. Number one, what I got from that is that he was talking about what his financial stability had been able to give to him, right? It had been able to give to him what we all ultimately want. We all ultimately want to, like, I don't think I've ever met anyone who said, like, I don't want to help take care of my family.
Yeah.
I mean, when we talk to so many people, that is like in our like embedded in our soul is what I think a lot of people we always want to give and we want to help out our family in whatever way we can. And it was his hard work that did it, but it was also the risks that he took in his hard work and his acquiring of those assets like real estate or other things that he's done that were able to afford him that time with his mom and that time with his son. Where yes, you still have to do a little bit of work to get to that point, but without that risk of doing that, you're not going to get that reward. And then
Yeah.
the other thing, I don't remember the exact quote, but the very first sentence that you read
Mhm.
was that we, when we do something and we come from love and we do it with a servant's heart,
Yeah.
then it makes that's what we were put here to do. You know, like if we come with like an attitude of love and an attitude of giving and serving, then the world is your oyster at that point.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Everything meaningful in life is about others.
Yeah.
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 Everything meaningful is about, yeah.
You're so eloquent, Bree. I really appreciate you saying that, but because I think that's exactly the essence I got from it was if we make a few great decisions, and he also talks about how big of a part luck played in his life. And as what we have this in a format. It's going to go out in the email. Everybody's going to receive it, and I would invite the viewers to take a look at it in a little more depth and see if anything pops out at them and share with us. because I think there's 17 different slides from the entirety of the book. And so, read it, take a look at it, tell us what really jumped off the page for you, and how can we better, I guess, co-create this experience of owning more real estate and eventually find ourselves in that same position where we can leverage real estate to accomplish all of those things that we want to. And we may not be in a position to accomplish those things today, but if we stay on that path of investing, we will. And so I really appreciate you saying that. So it will be in a PDF. And for anyone coming out tomorrow to the coffee social, we'll have it there and allow you to download it.
Beautiful. Thank you. This is
Perfect.
great. I have really enjoyed you reading and sharing all this with us this week and past week.
Mhm.
Thank you for
Thank
that.
you, Varun. He says, we normally forget why we are doing what we are doing. For example, spending time with family means we are not making more money at that time. So really need to look at the why of things. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, I think my biggest confusion in life has been when I have worked with multiple number of people. I've seen people become resentful for the work they're having to do. And sometimes they forget that that's the same work that has earned them the privilege. And what you love loves you back. The moment we lose sight of what has gotten us there, I've said it from the beginning of the time. Wherever my attention goes, energy flows. Whatever I pay attention to grows. If I take my attention away from it, you take your attention away from your child, things starts going south. I start taking attention away from my business, it will have errors. So I realize my attention is my biggest currency that I can give to people.
Yeah, life is a counterbalance, right?
Yeah, yeah. So there's no perfect balance. You sometimes have better family life, sometimes better business
You
life.
have to move it around. Yeah.
Yeah, move it around. But one thing I really, really encourage everyone is that remove resentment from having to do the work you're having to do that yields you the privilege that you get to have. We
Mm.
all have to do something to get to the privilege that we ultimately enjoy. So, Bree, I would love for you to share with everyone what we got and how's the market doing and what's real estate. Now our brains are so open and we are ready to absorb everything that you have to say.
Okay. Let me present.
What? What was that?
Who are you talking to me?
Yeah, you laughed.
I'm always laughing. It's normal.
Okay, back to work.
You
Bree?
ready for me? Oh, okay. I didn't know. Okay. Two properties. I can't see y'all, so
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought you were.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So two properties I want to show you. Number one, this is a duplex, and I'm just gonna show you where it's located so that you can see location. All right. So here's South Congress. We're very close to South Congress. Zilker is over here.
No, Bree, we can't
I
see you.
love I love the zip code. Oh my
You
gosh.
can't see my other window.
I
We
don't
can
see
only see the map, the MLS listing, but we
the
can't
MLS
see your map.
listing. Yeah.
Maybe I can go into parcel map.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do that. Let me try. Let me go back. Okay.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So I'll kind of zoom in a little bit more. But you have South Congress right here. Zilker's not far. You're very close to
Oh,
downtown.
this is prime.
Yeah. Look at this. Del Valley Airport right over here. Tesla's right here. I mean, you can get anywhere. You can go 35. You can go Mopac. I mean, you're in the mix of
Yeah.
everything, right? Um, look at this. Listed at $499. And I'm going to show. Well, can you see my pictures now?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
we can. Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure. So look at this. I mean, they have done some upgrades to the property, new flooring, new countertops. They've painted the cabinets, put handles on them. I mean, it's a decent, nice, clean property. You can walk in and not have to really do anything to it. The rents that you can expect on each side is $1,900 a month. Each
Nice.
side.
What?
So look at this.
Wow.
So current rent and potential rent 3,800, cash flow at 30% down 868.
Wow. Bree, hold on. Go back. How many days on the market?
Oh, this is new. 5 days.
Okay, well, this is
Wow.
well priced.
Very well priced property. I know. I actually am working. Okay, for everyone, I am working on duplexes that have been sitting on the market for over 60 days. I should have all of that done by tomorrow, and I'll send it out where we can look at what the potential rents are. We can negotiate. Been sitting on the market for a while, but this one just came on the market.
I love it. That's like a candy day. What candy are you bringing?
Okay, now I want to show you one more property. Look at this, guys. Okay, another one of our clients bought in this area and had really big success.
Oh,
260 in Austin.
In Austin proper. Okay, and I'll show you the interior so you can see. Very cute property. You have a corner lot. Look, you have stained concrete. You're not going to really have to, they're not going to have to do anything.
260? Brie, how much is the HOA here?
Oh, it's not anything. 38 a month. And look at the tax rate.
Oh my, shut the front door. 1.54%. That's like California low rates. Like, this is the one property I'll show to Californians. Low tax rate too.
Look at this. And so
Wow.
the rent, okay, let me go to single family. $17.96 a month on average. But I want to show you something else when it comes to the
1796 for a 260K home. That's really good.
Because of the zip code, Austin. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, and I want to show you where it's located so that you can see, because you are right by Tesla.
Wow.
Weberville.
And you are airport right here. Oops, why is that out? And then what's that? Roger, what is that thing that you were talking about that's coming in this area?
Yeah, Emerald City.
Emerald City is going to be right over here. You have easy access to the 130 toll. You have, Amazon's right here, that they want to go. You have Samsung right here. I mean, like, this is like easy access to everywhere. And under 300, and not even under 300, 260 in Austin proper.
And you know what? The lucky number 333. So if you've been looking for a sign, here's your sign.
You guys, look at the year built. 2015.
That's superstition too.
What'd you say?
Nothing. I'm not going to say that again. He's going to cut that clip if I say it.
And all the numbers add up to 9.
I don't know anything about that.
I'll leave this to both of them.
For the
I
viewers,
like real estate numbers.
So you know.
Wait, I want to know. Okay, wait, hold on. How do I?
And I don't want anybody to think that's the stuff I focus on. I don't. That's I'm indifferent to that stuff. But there are a lot of people that do pay attention to these things. Like, that's good feng shui. 333 is a good feng shui.
I just want to show you two more, just because, finding positive cash flow on single family has not been the easiest, right? But I found two that looked really good. Number one, Pflugerville. This is in Vine Creek, 1840.
Wow.
And really nice property. I think we helped one of our other investors.
One of our investors actually bought it, and we had a very good time renting it out very easily. This is 2021.
I know.
Wow.
In Pflugerville, and you have Weiss as the high school, great high school. So if you're looking in Pflugerville, at 330, that's a pretty big steal.
1,840 square footage. That's pretty good.
Yeah. And then this one was interesting to me. This is in Addison. And look at this. The rent.
Addison in the Dallas area?
No, Addison neighborhood in Austin.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, in East Austin. And look at the rent, $24.83 on average, 1,731 square feet, built in 2019. Look at this. Very nice.
Damn, that's nice.
And look at this, 2.15 tax rate, 40 a month HOA, and look at the location. I'm not used to doing it this way, so forgive me.
But if you scroll down, the bigger map is downstairs.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
183, right next to the airport.
Oh, nice.
Next to the airport.
Guys.
And if y'all don't know why I'm excited, we have more terminals coming to Austin Airport, which means more growth. You can watch our previous webinars for that. Wow, brief, first of all.
Actually, there's going to be a lot of shopping and stuff coming into that area too. There's
Yeah.
a big project that's happening there. And for anyone who's concerned about airplanes flying over your house, well, this is a rental property.
Airplanes are going to fly over your tenant's house.
Yeah.
Aren't they working
While
on
you
something
sleep
by the airport?
well.
What was
Huh?
that one? They're working on one by the airport called something dog. Something dog.
Yeah. That's right. That's the project. I
Yeah.
don't remember the name of it exactly, but that's the one. Yeah, it's supposed to be something that was in the books for quite some time, and now it's come to fruition. So it's a big deal.
Yeah.
I am very satisfied with the hunt. Bree, you took time to really pull. By the way, guys, this is commitment. Like, and kudos to Bree. For last 9 years, there has not been a single week we haven't pulled up properties. And not only it has allowed us to stay on top of and have our fingertip on pulse of the market, it has also allowed us to stay ahead of the market for our people who are looking to buy and sell. This is us studying real estate every single week. And this is our commitment to you that on our clock, you make great decisions. So, guys, I am stoked. I
Hey,
have
so Rosie, so what does somebody do if they want to place an offer on a property?
Very good. So next week, we're going to start introducing a deal toaster kit. This is where you get to scan the QR code and you will have exact steps on how you can submit an offer on a MLS deal that we're bringing you to the table or off market deals, because we want to remove the ambiguity, remove the confusion, and just completely become clear about the process that you are about to take to go from point A to point B to acquire real estate. I think we see questions that come to us, we see our daily processes. There are three things we're always focused at. Number one, either we want to make our work more efficient. Number two, make it more effective, or stop doing things that don't make us money. So, guys, going forward, you're going to get to scan a QR code where you can start from point A to B. We'll go from A to B in quick 5 steps on how to write an offer on the property.
You know what? And I would also like to get some feedback from our viewers on what they like and what they want to see more of. So if there's anything that really excited you about the show today, please share with us.
Beautiful, awesome. And sometimes you don't want to be known for your feedback that you don't want us to necessarily relate to. You can anonymously give us feedback.
Yeah, drop it in the mail.
I'm like, how do they do it anonymously?
I always hear anonymous comments, stuff like that. People Google it.
Oh, anonymous comment. Yeah. Do that.
There's a way.
Yeah.
There's a way, right?
Make a fake
I
profile.
just made it up. I just made it up.
You can do anonymous comment.
Yeah. So, guys, did you guys had fun?
I actually had a lot of
I
fun today.
Did.
I
Awesome.
just love how tense things get. Talking about the algebra of wealth.
Yeah. We just call it simple math. So, guys, man, Thursdays are my like warm up of the day. You know, like it's the second wind of the week. You know, I feel like by Wednesday is like offers, negotiations, strategies, properties, listings, buyers. Thursday, freshen up. Weekend coming in. So,
Rosie, can you take a moment and talk about Friday Coffee Social with everybody and what they can expect?
yeah, guys. So, Coffee Social started simply because we would get at least tens of requests every week on, hey, can I meet you for coffee? I promise you, I'm a very hyper person. I can only take so much coffee in a day. And I'm sure if you were in my position, you want to have one coffee with everyone rather than having 10 coffees with 10 people. So we have been having Coffee Social for almost a month now. And the response and the interaction has been beautiful and great turnout. So Coffee Social is a place where we get together 9:30 to 11:30 on every Friday morning, and we talk real estate. We answer your questions in person. Some people are not able to always join webinars because of their work hours, but they get to meet us in person, and we brief them on what has been hot topic of the week, what is important in real estate that they need to watch out for, and what are the deals they can buy. And we actually go over real estate issues that people are experiencing right now and brainstorm together as a group and come up with a solution. We actually already put a family under contract who is going to be from a tenant to a homeowner now. It's a privilege to help people like that. And we are actually having investors who are actively submitting offers right now on deals where until today they were just thinking about it. That is transformative. So if it fits in your trajectory of growth, I would highly recommend that you meet us. I don't care if you're wearing pajamas and flip flops, just show up. There's no dress code. All we need is you, and we'll make sure we have coffee to wake you up.
Don't have anything to say to that.
Wow.
This is the most I get out of Roger. You know, I can say the badass thing. I can say, I can do a most creative work. And I showed him, I was like, honey, look. And he's like,
You have no idea how impressed I always am. Like, could you imagine being impressed every day, every day, every day, every day, every day?
Where's my gold star?
I need to hear it too. Okay.
I live with overachievers between you, Brittany, and Deep, and Ella's beautiful dancing. I think Chris. I'm like, I don't know where to start.
You don't need to start. You need to stop. No. All right. Guys, thank you so much. 46 and 16 seconds, 46 minutes and 16 seconds of highly interactive, raw, real. We don't try to make it like a boxed conversation. We just freelance it with y'all. We talk about what's happening in real estate, how we transform our thinking. Together, we will make each other's life better. So, guys, if you enjoyed it, come back again next Thursday, we're taking off. 4th of July.
4th of
Hey,
July.
and by the way, thank you for anyone who's commented, liked, and shared this content. Thank you, Adele, for your beautiful comment. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Adele. Only he can read all the comments. I can just see their faces. So, love y'all. I can't wait to see you, and I can't wait to see you own more real estate. This is the market to do so. We're here for you. Bye, guys.
Bye. Have a great day.